you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
I'm a savage! Oh!
It was trending a few weeks ago on Twitter that people were afraid that Zoran was going to make kids learn Arabic numerals. That was a real trend. Like, it started as some guy trolling. He posted, he's like, I bet Zoran's going to make the kids learn Arabic numerals. And then one guy was like, the fuck he is! And it just spiraled out of control. Became a full-on war, man. Some of you don't even know why that's funny, huh? Arabic numerals are the numbers that we use on a daily basis. So if you can count 1, 2, 3, congrats, you speak Arabic. Yeah. If you can say 1, 2, 3, yalla, you speak Arabic very well. People think they're only Arabic when they're being counted down. Like 3, 2, 1. Like, no. They're Arabic forward as well. It's crazy that people thought that Arabic numerals weren't already in New York City. Like they used to be there, but then after IXXI. Okay, I feel like only L% of you guys got that joke. Shout out to the Roman Empire. Never forget. You know, you hear Usha Vance was seen without a wedding ring? Yeah, ooh, yeah. And she was going to meet up with Melania, so you know the girls are talking. It's gonna be a hot girl winter. For those of you who don't know, Usha Vance is the wife of famous podcaster and couch connoisseur, J.D. Vance, who also happens to be the Vice President of the United States. And their marriage has been a little bit rocky ever since a hug that happened. And I don't know if you saw this hug, but it was a hug, okay? J.D. Vance hugged Erica Kirk, and it was a hug, okay? Like, he went low on her waist like this, and she grabbed the back of his head and like, grrr, just going like this. It's like, grrr, grrr, and I shouldn't have been turned on. That was my bad. It happened, we saw it, and everybody's thought was like, this is not gonna be good for the marriage, right? But then I looked it up. Apparently, JD and Usha's marriage was already pretty rocky. Like who would have thought marrying JD Vance is not sweet perfection, you know? Because for the longest time, JD Vance was trying to get Usha to convert to Christianity, okay? But she's Hindu, and she resisted. You gotta give her props. By the grace of Ganesh, she stayed Hindu, and he kept trying to get her to convert for his political campaign. And now she's converting to divorce, so, you know. Things don't always work out, but it's like, you know, respect your partner's faith. Like, I love interfaith marriages, but like Hindus, let this be a lesson. This is what happens when you marry the cow. Listen, I'm being nice about this, okay? There's people straight up pushing the conspiracy that J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk are being positioned to be the front runners of the 2028 election should Trump not run again for the 100th time. They're saying they're gonna be the chosen ones, you know? And I'm not saying that. That's kind of a wild conspiracy, but when you look at the timeline, kinda, you know what I mean? Because we saw that hug, that salacious hug, and J.D. Vance is a Christian, allegedly, but that hug was a sin, you know what I mean? Like, that hug was a sin, okay? And I know you're like, well, he can sin, he's the vice president. No, that's not how it works, okay? We saw that hug, and now we see her without a ring. This is the timeline of events they want us to see, because don't sleep on Usha Vance. She's a powerful woman. Usha Vance is technically one assassination away from being first lady, okay? Okay, that's just a fact, okay? Usha Vance is one assassination away from being the first lady, okay? And one assassination ago, she had a stable marriage. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, okay? It's an assassination power sandwich. I'm just connecting the dots. That's all I'm doing. I'm just connecting the dots. That's not a Hindu joke, by the way. Not a Hindu joke. I'm connecting the non-religious small circles. That's all I'm doing. But you never know. Never know, you know? A lot of people are afraid of losing their jobs nowadays, you know? Especially to AI and stuff. I'll tell you what. If you're worried about losing your job, just remember, Kash Patel is still head of FBI, okay? You're gonna be all right. You don't need to be good at your job. You just need to be there. Eyes wide open. It's crazy that Kash Patel is anti-woke, because those eyes are woke as just like 3,000% dilation. Just don't even know what's going on in there. He's locked in on something. I don't know. Kash Patel, who looks like Aziz Ansari's jacked autistic cousin, is I mean that in a nice way, guys. I don't know why you're groaning. I just, by the way, I've been using the word autistic a few times and people have been getting upset at my recent shows. Like I'm on the spectrum, my friends are on the spectrum, we all say that word. I think it might be a generational thing. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I think autism is awesome, by the way. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think autistic people are the superior race, honestly. If I find out that I'm falling the spectrum, I'm coming for y'all. I don't give a okay? So, all right, anyways, side note. So Kash Patel has about a 0% approval rating, okay? There's a funny story about Kash Patel recently. Apparently, the day after Charlie Kirk was killed, Kash flew to Provo, Utah, and he refused to get off the FBI plane because he didn't have his FBI jacket. He didn't want to be seen without the jacket because he forgot his. Apparently, he left it in Valhalla. And so he tells his assistants, he's like, hey, can you go find me a jacket? And they're like, oh, here we go again. And they go out and they search Provo, Utah for an FBI jacket. And they come back and they're like, Kash, we couldn't find a jacket. He's like, why not? They're like, because nobody here is as small as you. You're a size medium. Everybody here is like a large or XL or a double X. Do you want a large? He's like, no. I guess he'd taken too many L's already. And he sent them off again, and then they go for hours, and they still can't find it. They come back like, Kash, we need you outside right now. He's like, no, cash me inside. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? Go find me a medium-sized FBI jacket. They leave again. Finally, they find a medium FBI jacket on a female agent, okay? Which is only funny because they took a jacket off of a woman to give it to a dude, right? Chivalry is dead. I don't give a what you say. They're like, take off your coat, the man's cold, okay? So they come back with this medium-sized jacket. Kash puts it on, examines himself in the mirror. He's like, the patches aren't right. And so he has someone come in and sew on the FBI patches properly. And this process took literally hours. Our tax dollars paying for this plane. Finally, he steps off the plane hours later, just enough time for the killer to get away. It was like, so ironic. He just wanted a medium. Now the killer's at large. Okay. All right. Of course, he came out and said it was Tyler. Okay. You can believe that if you want. Okay. I'm not going to. If you're pushing the Tyler narrative, you're either really dumb or you're lying. Okay. All right. And I'm going to assume it's the latter because he's Indian. I'm not saying Indians are liars. I'm just saying they're not dumb. I've never seen that before in my life. Okay, you can call that racist if you want, but if I post this on YouTube, nobody's going to be like, yeah, we claim him. Nobody's going to be saying that. I think Kash Patel's a liar. And I think he's lying right now, to be honest. I can actually sense it. I can sense it. Yeah, because I'm also a medium. Thank you. Cash me outside. How about that? Just watched the Diddy documentary. Yeah. And I realized I'm not that bad of a person. Okay. Yeah. You want to feel good about yourself? Watch that Diddy documentary. You can be like, wow, I'm actually really good in relationships. I'm kind of a catch. I feel like my exes owe me an apology. Yeah. That Diddy documentary is wild, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he kills Tupac, okay? All right. I'm going to leave it at that, but he also killed Biggie. I'm sorry, guys. I need to tell someone just because I'm from the 90s. Can you imagine what it feels like to see that the same person killed both your childhood idols within the same half-hour episode? And it's somebody you don't even like the music of? Like, had it been 50 Cent, I'd be a little, conflicted. But I'm hearing this from 50 Cent, so I'm 50-50. But apparently, Diddy hired someone to shoot Tupac, okay? And then months later, he brought Biggie to LA. And Biggie didn't want to go to LA because everybody's like, it's dangerous. They think you killed Tupac, so you probably shouldn't go to LA. And Biggie's like, I don't want to go. Puff's like, you're coming. Can you imagine like Notorious B.I.G. being like, I'm not really comfortable with this? And Diddy's still like, no, you're coming with me. Takes him to LA. Biggie's just supposed to be there for one day. He had to go do press in the UK, but Diddy's like, no, we're canceling that shit. Cancels his flight, forces Biggie to stay in LA, brings him to the party. Diddy's like, I'm gonna throw a party on enemy turf. Yeah, how about that? does that, invites Biggie to the party, and then after the party, he's like, all right, Big, let's get in the car and head off. Gets him in the car at the exact time that they drive off, and that's when the shooter pulls up and just rays shots on him. Now, the crazy thing about both of these shootings, both Tupac and Biggie, the shooter shot like multiple shots, which shows that they wanted to get their money, okay? And what's so sinister about this is after these two murders, Diddy then just casually launches his solo album, which is like, oh, the two goats are gone. How about some Puff Daddy? Like who does that? Can you imagine somebody losing the person closest to them, and then within 2 weeks they're already in the spotlight, smiling, not grieving, meeting the president, launching their solo career in the studio, built off the fame of the person they were with? Can you think of anybody who would do that in September 2025? I'm not really sure. I'm talking about P. Diddy, guys, not E. Kirky. No, of course, with all this stuff, you're supposed to say allegedly. Allegedly. Everybody's like, I was saying allegedly with Diddy till I found out he was a Scorpio. So no more. He's guilty. He's guilty. I'm sorry. You're innocent until proven Scorpio. I don't care. I know that's offensive to 1/12 of this room. I don't care. Or probably more if you're married to one. That's on you. You got yourself into that situation. I'm just kidding. I love Scorpios. There's good Scorpios out there. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden. We'll listen. We'll do examples later. We'll do examples later. How about that? How about that? Okay. I love Scorpios. You're good people. I'm not saying all Scorpios are guilty. I'm just saying if you have allegations, you are. That's literally all I'm saying. Okay. And I know maybe it's a bit of a stretch to compare Diddy to Erica Kirk until you realize she's also a Scorpio, okay? So just, I don't know, keep an eye open. That's all I'm saying. But the Diddy documentary it's interesting because the Diddy documentary opens with footage of him in his hotel room a few weeks before he gets arrested. And you're like, what? Wait a second, this documentary was made by 50 Cent. Is 50 Cent in his hotel room and he doesn't know? Like, did he set up like hidden cams or something? And then you find out that Diddy hired the videographer himself because he thought the footage would make him look good to other people. It didn't work that way, right? That's what I said. It did not look good at all. And then within a few weeks, he goes to jail, okay? And then the videographer's like, ooh, what do I do with this footage? Well, I guess I'll give it to his worst enemy, 50 Cent. He literally gives it to his longtime arch nemesis, 50 Cent. And my first thought was like, I'm not a Diddy fan, but like, he really Diddy got betrayed by his videographer, like mine would never do that, Sorry, look for the camera. Mine would never do that. Right? But then I read the reason why the videographer gave it to 50 Cent is because Diddy didn't pay the videographer. Bad move, man. Rookie mistake, dude. And as you find out in the documentary, Diddy had a history of not paying his contractors, dude. Who does he think he is? The President of the United States? Like, what are you doing, man? So yeah, let that be a lesson. If you do not pay your videographer, your private footage is gonna get released, okay? Yeah, so say what you will about Epstein, he definitely paid his videographer, Okay, all right. I'm kidding, he installed his own camera. Sometimes you gotta DIY, you know what I mean? Release the files. When I grew up, Puff Daddy, he seemed so innocent, he looked like he had seen a gun but never touched one, And then he just changed, when his name changed to Diddy, that's when the switch happened. And they said that he never did like drugs or anything like that when he didn't do drugs or alcohol, nothing when he was younger. And then all of a sudden he went straight to pills. Ecstasy was his favorite. That's kind of a big jump, from my experience, but it's just kind of crazy that he became Diddy when he did E. Okay. That's just a Sammy Obeid original. Now he did a lot of bad things, allegedly, as you see in the movie. But like one thing he also did was anytime his friend had a girlfriend, he would always try to take the girl from his friend. And he got charged for all these things, like RICO, drugs, etc. But like, how about bro code? They didn't charge him once for any violation of the bro code, And obviously, the weirdest thing about this whole documentary was that they found 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil on Diddy's estate. Okay, we're talking metric tons of baby oil, and it had to be Johnson & Johnson. That's the crazy thing, like brand loyalty, this guy, like brand loyalty. Johnson & Johnson lost their biggest client with Diddy. Like he single-handedly funded the J&J vaccine, which is weird because that was only one shot. Not typically his style, but But yeah, he loved the Johnson & Johnson. And so everybody saw that, everybody's like, this is weird. And so his lawyer has to chime in while he's in jail and be like, hey guys, what's the big deal, okay? Did he just like to buy in bulk like any American? What American do you know is buying 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil? Where can you get 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil? Not Costco, I looked it up. They don't sell Johnson & Johnson. If it was from Costco, it'd be called Kirkland & Kirkland, but it's not. It's J&J, not K&K, okay? He had to literally like order directly from Johnson & Johnson, like pallets of baby oil. And it's revealed in the documentary that Diddy liked to use this oil for the freak off. So he would have these freaky sessions with people all who come to these parties and they would do sexual stuff. And he always insisted that they put baby oil on them, which is just extra creepy because it's baby oil. Like, why do you want people to smell like babies? Like, what the is wrong with you? And then there's many accounts in the story where the person would be like, yeah, and then I put the baby oil on me, and Diddy was like, not enough. So they say he wanted people to have the glistening effect. That's what it was called, you know. But it's, you know, classic like Diddy lyric. It's like, we can shine together or whatever. But yeah. I mean, it's just really weird using. And respectfully, Johnson & Johnson is like the gayest baby oil. You know what I mean? Like, it's made specifically for two men, and they're privates. Johnson & Johnson, just straight. What the doctor ordered. But everybody's, you know, seeing this and like, oh, like, what is the baby oil freak off stuff? And then so the lawyer had to chime in even more and be like, what's wrong, guys? It's just a bunch of adults doing consensual sex. Like, the fact that you said consensual is a red flag, you know what I mean? Like, we should already assume that, you know, but like, you know, I'm not a sex expert, trust me, okay? But last time I checked, you don't need that much lubrication for consensual sex, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of built into the process. If you know, you know, okay? And if you don't know, now you know. Baby. Oil. But yeah, I mean, the messed up thing about Diddy not paying his contractors is that he had money. Like, you can see it on his body. Like, he paid certain people. He chose who he paid. Like, for instance, Diddy has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for the rest of his life. Because he sampled Sting's song without asking for consent, which is also just extra sinister, just because it was the song that he dedicated to Biggie's death. And yeah, so basically he kills Biggie, and then he makes a song in his honor, releases it on his solo album, does a little dance on MTV. While he didn't even make the beat himself, he stole it from Sting. And so now he has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for the rest of Sting's life. So Sting could just quit everything he's doing and make a surgeon's salary off of Diddy every single year till he dies. So, you know, Sting's kind of happy that Diddy's in jail, you know? He's just like, every breath you take, every bond you break, every move you make, you'll be paying me. It's a crazy documentary, but I think I just told you everything. So I've been watching this documentary called The Age of Disclosure. Has anybody seen this one? Yeah, it's about aliens. Yeah, where my stoners at, right? It's a good documentary. It's actually nominated for some awards. And in it, some government officials, both current and former, just straight out come on screen and say, yeah, bro, there's aliens, deal with it. And it's a lot of very credible people, and also Marco Rubio for some reason. Don't know why he's in the doc, but when he's not talking, you're like, this is convincing. And so in this documentary, they straight up say, they're like, yeah, we know aliens, we know them by their first names. There's a lot of different alien species here. Some are here on leisure for a little vacay. Some are escaping climate change from their planet, like their solar system lost its sun and it's very cold now. You know, isn't that ironic? Even in outer space, aliens are running from ice. Parallel universe, that's all I'm saying. And so they're coming here, and apparently the aliens have a fascination with our nuclear facilities, okay? Yeah, so they've been seen hovering over our nuclear sites, and apparently, as I say in the documentary, allegedly, okay, the aliens are able to activate and deactivate our nukes remotely. They don't even need our control center. They're just like, beep, bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. And apparently there was a time when like Russian nukes were pointed at us and the aliens just turned it on as a joke. They're like, ha ha ha. You're like, so they got a sense of humor too. But yeah, good luck sleeping at night. The aliens basically control our nukes, you know, but I find it kind of heartwarming just because, you know, they could kill us if they want. Clearly their technology is better than ours. They can come here, we can't go there. So their nukes could annihilate us. Our nukes can't even go to the moon, you know? So we're not, they don't consider this a war with them. They're kind of like Diddy. They're like, we decide when they destroy each other, you know? That's like very controlling, you know? And so yes, they can activate and deactivate our nukes. And so if you've ever had the thought, like, wow, we live in such a crazy world, it's actually pretty cool that we haven't gotten a nuclear war yet. It's not our doing, it's the aliens. They've probably saved our ass a bunch of times and we don't even know it. Especially when you got a guy with loose fingers running the show. But yeah, they have a fascination with our nuclear sites, and the aliens also have a fascination with our time travel facilities. So if you don't know, we are actively working on time travel, and the reason you don't know is because we're not good at it, because we haven't left now, okay? But they're working on it and they're trying, and what they said in the documentary was every time they make an advancement in time travel, the aliens do something to hinder us. So they've been seen attacking our time travel facilities, and they've even been seen like just tampering with things. Anytime we make like an advancement, they do something. They do it remotely too, like beep, 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 you know, and they hold us back. So now, I'm now thinking like that's why the mic turned off, because they're like, they went forward in time and they're like, he's about to tell them the secrets, right? So like it just hit me. Now, obviously, what you gather from this is, okay, the aliens don't want us to have time travel. And your first ask is like, why would no one want us to have time travel? We're such great people, right? No, I know what you're thinking, right? We're all intellectuals in this room, so you're thinking like, okay, well, obviously, they don't want us to have time travel because that would create a ripple in the space-time continuum, which would mess up whatever they have going on and whatever year they're from, right? Some people are as stoned as me, right? Okay, so that's the obvious thought, right? But in the documentary, they're like, bro, no, it's not even that. Basically, everyone in the universe except us has time travel. So literally, all the species of aliens are out there, like going like, let's go to 2035, woo! Party like it's 1999, woo! Just out there, just going all just reckless time travel, getting time travel DUIs, having the time of their life on the interspace. And all of them, all the aliens, the whole international universal community, they all look at us humans on Earth. They look at our behavior and they're like, yeah, those motherfuckers are not getting time travel. No way are we gonna let them have time. Do not let them leave 2025 or 2026. Like they have to watch literally every year. That's how monitoring time travel works. And so basically they don't want us to leave now, okay? So we're trapped, yeah. So everybody's like, live in the moment. Like you have no other choice, actually. Yeah. So basically we're on literal timeout, like literal timeout. But I get it. Like they see us and they're like, you know, especially if the Americans got time travel, they just come out and try to steal all the time oil. You know what I mean? Right? Because there's got to be some kind of oil for time. I mean, we see that like, yeah, more of that. I want that oil. Yes, alien planet, we'll be your friend. Give us the oil. Did you guys know that Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves? Yes, Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves. Okay, if the world was Los Angeles, Venezuela would be Diddy's house. Okay, largest proven oil reserves. Okay? Which is crazy, because that's not even why we're interested in them. We just care about the drugs. Isn't that so crazy? We're just like, we're here for the, oh shit, there's oil here? Oh, what? Yummy, yummy. I love that. That's good. It's making my teeth glisten. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, we seized the ship off the coast of Venezuela, and it's an oil ship. We've previously been going after drug ships, but you know, in our defense, oil is our drug, you know. But yeah, it's kind of messed up because apparently there's protocol when you seize a ship. When you seize a ship diplomatically, if there's a way to do that, I guess, you're supposed to notify them, give them a warning, have them remove the cargo. We took that cargo and all, and pretending like that wasn't intentional. We're like, oh, there's oil here? Oh, guess we'll keep it. It was 2 million barrels of oil, $150 million worth of oil. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm sure most Americans don't know that, but if they did, they'd be like, A, that's f***ed up, B, you gonna share it? That's probably how Americans would think. We should not be wanting stolen oil, right, guys? Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. This is why we're not getting time travel. So yeah, they straight took that oil, and they're claiming it's drugs. That's the thing that's so, like, this is so Iraq 2.0, right? Because they're claiming it's drugs. They're claiming it's cocaine, but like there's no evidence. Like cocaine does not come from Venezuela, okay? It comes from Mexico, sorry. But and even if our concern was cocaine, you're totally disregarding the good tax-paying cocaine users of the United States who are literally working overtime, in fact. There's a lot of, you'd be surprised how many people do cocaine in this world. Maybe you haven't gone to the bathroom at the wrong time. There's a lot of, Wall Street is basically powered by cocaine. You remove cocaine, the stock market's gonna crash, okay? So a lot of people use cocaine. Obviously, the problem with cocaine is it is often laced with fentanyl. And so the government pretends that that's the case. Well, in that case, go after the fentanyl. But again, fentanyl does not come from Venezuela, okay? It also comes from Mexico. I'm sorry, this is just, okay? But you can't just blame Mexico for fentanyl either, because fentanyl is a multi-step process. The chemicals that make fentanyl come from China, okay? With some support also coming from India, shout out, okay? And then all of it is cooked in Mexico, okay? Which just sounds like a racist American joke. We get the parts from China on the cheap. India comes through with the tech support. And then the real work is done by Mexicans in the kitchen. I'm not making this joke. This is how fentanyl is made. And we're the dummies who are like, yummy, Fenty. Keep sending the Fenty. Do you want a Fenty? So we're the demand side of this equation. And it's up because they're trying to make it seem like that's the threat to America, even though it's not there. They're calling them narco-terrorists. Narco-terrorists. As a Middle Eastern person, that is offensive. That used to be our slur. You can't just put a word in front of it. Am I just an original terrorist? Am I standard 1.0 terrorist? Come on, am I terrorist 1995? What the is this, man? Narco-terrorist. You can't just put a word in front of terrorists for a different race of people, like are Asians math terrorists, you know what I mean? But of course, white people, domestic terrorists. Am I right? Domestic terrorists. Come on. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. This imperialism in Venezuela, they're just doing it so casually. I think there's literally people inside of the government who don't know that that's not the United States. This is what happens when you call us America, and there's literally like dozens of other countries that are America, because they see it, they're like, oh, that's South America, that's us, right? South America. We just have to cross the Gulf of America to get there. Like, it's all planned. You know what I mean? The United States really is the Diddy of the world, like, we control everybody. We help some countries, we also molest them. If we really don't like someone, we have them taken out, pretend like it wasn't us. We're addicted to oil. And our biggest enemy, inflation, which right now is 50 cents. Sorry, 50 cents. It's just regime change. But you know what I'm saying. A couple weeks ago, the United States asked Lebanon to give us a bomb back that Israel dropped on it, that we sold Israel. This is a real story, by the way. So Israel was bombing Lebanon because it was a Tuesday. And one of the bombs didn't explode. And so like, oh, what can we do? How do we get it to explode? Like, ask the aliens. No, they can't. And then they just, for whatever reason, could not get the bomb to explode. And so it just stayed in Lebanon. And the Lebanese, fearless people, dude. Just were, after literally everything they've dealt with from Israel, they just see a bomb, like, yeah, let's take that. And they just took it. And the United States is just sitting there over here, just And Israel sees the bomb, like, oh, how are we gonna, oh, this is not good. Israel comes to the United States, and they're like, I know this is pretty crazy, but we dropped a bomb in Lebanon, and can you go get it back for us? It's like when a kid throws a football over the neighbor's fence, and the parent has to go ask for the football. It's like, yeah, can you just go get the bomb back for us? And the United States is like, you left a bomb there? They're like, we dropped it, it didn't explode. So, they normally explode, so it didn't explode. So if you just go get the bomb back. And the United States is like, let me get this clear. We sold you a bomb, you dropped it on Lebanon, it didn't explode, you were trying to annihilate them. They have the bomb now, and you're asking us to go ask them to give us the bomb back. And Israel's like, this is correct. And the United States is just like, yes, Daddy, yes, Daddy, whatever you want, Daddy, whatever you want, yes, I'll go get it right now. So the United States goes up to Lebanon like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? How about that embassy we're about to build, huh? It's gonna be a big one. Ooh, shawarma, I love shawarma. I smell that stuff. It looks so good. It looks so good. You guys can dance, man. You guys, really good. It's cool. We got a cool thing going on out here, Hey, so, we noticed that you have a bomb that was just there, right? Like, yeah, the one that Israel dropped. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Could you give it to us? I was like, what? Can you just give us the bomb? Like, you want us to give you the bomb that they dropped on us that you sold to them? Yeah, just give us the bomb. I mean, so, we need to do some research. But you're probably just going to give it back to Israel. Like, no, we would never. No. Just give us the bomb. Just give us the bomb back. Lebanon was like, I don't know, man. I got to think about this. Then all of a sudden you hear, psst, and behind Lebanon is Iran. Give it to us. Just give it to us. Just give us the bomb. Trust me, bro. Give us the bomb. Lebanon's like, what? Okay, not right now. And I said, so what? You gonna give us the bomb or what? Lebanon's like, I'm thinking about. Come on. Give us the bomb. Trust me, bro. Give us the bomb. It'll be good. Lebanon's like, all right. I'm thinking. The United States, you gonna give me the bomb or what? It's like, come on, I want my bomb back. The United States is like, come on, give us the bomb. Lebanon's like, oh. Everyone's like, ee. And the aliens are just watching over. It's like, these motherfuckers not getting time travel anytime soon. I was in Rome. I'm not trying to brag. I was in, you know me. I go places like Rome and New York. I was in Rome, the other one, and I did some tourism there. I went and checked out some of like the Catholic churches. Like they're pretty like intense. Like I've been to a lot of churches before, right? Because Christianity is the most popular religion in the world, like for now, inshallah. But like there's churches everywhere. I went to India, there was churches there. J.D. Vance brought them. They're there. They're everywhere. And we've all been to churches, right? We've all seen churches. We've seen the inside of churches, and every church you see a crucifix, right? Every church is basically a reenactment of Jesus dying. It's just like very intense, But I get it. We want us to remind us of the death, so we remember like the good things that he did. I get it. It's like we have to see the violence to remember not to be violent. How's that working out for us? But every church has its own varying level of graphic, like a lot of churches in the United States are pretty tame. You just have the cross by itself. Some you have Jesus like on the crucifix. But like in Rome, there's like dripping blood. You're like, is this even necessary? I think I understand what happened. And it just made me realize, like, we've been so desensitized to this just image of Jesus on a cross, somebody that most people would agree was a nice guy. And we're just seeing him at his worst moment, and this is just something that's just so ingrained in our psyche. And I've been trying to think about it, because these last 2 years with what's been happening in Gaza, I've been wondering how are people able to see this on their phones and then just live normal lives? Like I can't, I know a lot of you can't, But I know so many people who just see it on their phone and then just like living their lives. And I'm just like, how do you do that? I don't understand. And then it hit me. It's because all of us, all humans of this world, are so desensitized because we are so used to literally the imagery of the most famous Palestinian being crucified right in front of us. The most famous Palestinian. And I'm not talking about DJ Khaled. I'm not talking about DJ Khaled. I'm talking about Jesus, okay? There will not be another one. Not DJ Khaled, okay? I'm sure a lot of people want to see that, but that's not who we're talking about. Okay, so it just made me think, like, maybe we could just have some nicer imagery of Jesus, you know? Like, just Jesus, like, drinking some water or something, you know? Or more relatable images, like Jesus' mom throwing a sandal at him, you know? Or Jesus eating with his hands right next to Zoran, you know? And it's like, you know? Or Jesus standing in front of Home Depot because he was a carpenter, right? You know, just looking for work. And then ice rolls up. You're like, oh no! Then he flies away. You're like, you go, Jesus! You go! But yeah, I think sometimes people forget Jesus was Palestinian. Like, that's where he's from. He's from Bethlehem. That's Palestine. He's the most famous Palestinian. We celebrate his birthday. It's the biggest holiday of the year. Is the celebration of a Palestinian's birthday. And everybody's like, when's Jesus gonna come back? Is Jesus gonna come back? He probably already has. He's stuck at a checkpoint. We're so used to Jesus on a cross, just let him cross. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. What I'm saying is, this is how you bring up politics at the dinner table during Christmas. It's your way in. You open with that. You end with Free Palestine. Yeah. Yep. The Bondi Beach hero was a Muslim. Yeah. Yep. I know you're not supposed to keep score, but we did. So after a terrifying shooting for 9 minutes next to a police station, when the police weren't able to come in that time frame, who stepped up? Who stepped up? A Syrian-Australian local fruit shop owner named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, okay? And there was people on the internet trying to be like, no, he wasn't a Muslim. Like, really? Ahmed Al-Ahmed? How more Muslim can this guy's name be? Like, Ahmed, Muhammad, Ahmed, like, what do you need from this guy? But he's a fruit shop owner, so, you know, he's organic, and yeah, I don't know where this guy's shop is, but give it a 5-star review, man. He's a good man, and yes, it's important to distinguish he's Muslim, because the narrative has always been the terrorists are Muslim. In this case, the hero was Muslim. You know what I mean? That was the first thing I saw. Yeah. Yep. And then they were like, the shooter was Muslim too, and I'm like, listen. Okay. Can't win them all. Now. But yeah, he's a Muslim, and he's a real Muslim. He's a real Muslim because real Muslims protect their Jewish brothers and sisters. This is a fact. Real Muslims protect their Jewish brothers and sisters. Hashtag the Crusades. Okay. Israel's trying to claim that Iran was behind this operation, which makes so much sense. Iran has to take a break from trying to get their bomb. But Israeli officials are saying that if they have any evidence that Iran was somehow involved, they can use this as a pretext to strike Iran, which is ridiculous, because Israel never needs a pretext to hit someone. That's just, since when? Since when do they need a reason? And of course, a lot of people are suggesting this could have been an Israeli false flag operation. Now, obviously, that's where my mind goes, okay? But I don't actually verify it until I actually have enough information. I don't have enough information. I just have a hunch, that's all, and that's not enough to go around spreading it. The only things that are suspicious is Netanyahu always, okay? Netanyahu immediately blamed it on the Prime Minister of Australia, saying that it was because of their policy to recognize the state of Palestine. What the is wrong with you, dude? Why would that be the problem? Liberating people who've literally been oppressed and suppressed for so long. Like, the fact that he said that, and just the fact that he's Netanyahu, just makes you very suspicious, right? Okay, then there's other things, like it was close to a police station, it took them long to get there, fine. I mean, like, you compare that to the United States, you know, it's not a very strong argument. Then there's a guy who like took a photo with blood all over him, and there's like images of him getting makeup done. I don't know if those are real. There's also images of Google Trends saying the suspect's name was searched a couple days before. We've seen this so many times in the last, few months, really, with Charlie Kirk, the National Guard shooting. And I looked it up. I always double check it myself. I looked up on Google Trends. I did not see it. So could have been wiped. I'm just saying either we're paranoid or they're onto us. I don't know which one it is. Okay, but I don't have enough information to say it's a false flag. But Israel also, like Israel claiming it's wrong, we don't have that information. So it's like, if you want to be fair about your allegations here, then let's say that Israel planted the shooter as a false flag and Iran planted the hero. I'll give you that if you want. I don't believe it personally, but I'll give that to you if you want to be fair here. That's the nicest. Because there's some people who are claiming that the shooter was IDF, like straight up IDF. There's no actual evidence to verify this, so I'm not going to make that claim, okay? However, I will say he did have IDF vibes. You know what I mean? He was far too trained with an assault weapon for Australia, which doesn't really have a lot of that going on. He targeted civilians. He came from India, which a lot of IDF soldiers do. Sorry, Indians, you're not dumb. I'm just saying sometimes that happens. And yeah, he was just like the IDF. He was afraid of a fair fight with a Muslim man, so. And that's how he got taken down by a fruit shop owner, so. Is what it is. It's so up that there's like this many like in one weekend, that we forget about the other one because the next one happened the next day, and it's like that one was at Brown University, killer's still at large, you know what I mean? And then the next day was like significant, obviously, because like it was a big deal in Australia, and the hero was a Muslim guy. But I just feel fucked up for like the kids at colleges who go to these schools and just don't feel safe, you know what I mean? Like they don't have like a Muslim shop owner to run up and to be there. So what I'm saying is the theme of the weekend was, what can Brown do for you? All right, I'm sorry. I know. Just stay inside. Just stay inside. But yeah, it is just crazy that Candace Owens made that tweet. I don't know. Listen, I like Candace Owens. Don't send me old videos of hers. I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm in love with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. I don't care what you say. Tucker Carlson, I'm in a romantic pseudo relationship with that guy. Don't send me old videos of him in the bow tie. I do not give a fuck, okay? He's the #1 voice of Palestine in the world. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. It wasn't my choosing, but it is what it is. He's reaching a demographic of people that, face it, none of us would have ever reached, okay? So just let me be in love with this man, okay? When he laughs, I come. I just want to enjoy this moment. I even laugh at his jokes now. I don't know how this. He made a joke on his podcast the other day where he's like, people think I'm getting paid by the Qatari lobby. Like, what would that be? A-quack? Like, A-quack! Oh my God! Why didn't I think of that? But liberation is a collective movement. Liberation is a collective effort. And so, my take is, let Candace and Tucker cook. Let them cook, okay? I'm gonna let them cook, and I'm drawing the line at Nick Fuentes, okay? Deal? Okay? I'm drawing the line at Nick Fuentes. And trust me, I was introduced to Nick Fuentes, I'm sure this has happened to somebody else. I was introduced to him with the videos that I agreed with. So can you imagine when I saw his other work? Somehow his videos got in my algorithm. He's like, yes, Israel's committing a genocide in Gaza. I was like, speaking the truth, man. Who's this guy? I like this guy. Then I see another video. He's like, the Israel lobby needs to get out of our government. I'm like, yes, brother, yes. And then I see another video. He's like, I don't want to live next to black people. Like, what the just happened? So I hate Nick Fuentes because he's Mexican. And and I'm racist, like he said, everybody's racist. But he is a virgin, He's a virgin. And a lot of people think he's gay. He could be gay. He could come out at some point. Great for him. But like he's definitely a virgin. And I said this the other night, and somebody said, we don't claim him. And I was like, are you gay or are you a virgin? Like which Virgins are like, get that man laid immediately. We do not want him as part of our community. Here I am in the virgin capital of the world. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's like more like Cambridge, right? It's more like, we're all from Cambridge, dude. I don't know the difference between the neighborhoods here enough to be like, well, Somerville, shout out. Come on. All right. You know the Southeast. Listen. Okay. I know a lot of people come to my show because they support Palestine, and I love that. And I know that sometimes things can get very depressing because of reality, okay? But I would like to give you some light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, bad analogy. I would like to give you some hope, okay? And, I know at times it can feel very disillusioning because I think sometimes we mistakenly adopt this mentality that this situation is a war of two sides. It's not. It's not a war. If it was a war, it would be very asymmetric, right? You know what asymmetric means, right? Okay, just gonna okay. It means not symmetric, right? It means A means not. A is short for anti. It's anti-symmetric, okay? And it's an anti-symmetric warfare. Trust me, I've been nominating for the top 10 anti-symmetric people of a crooked face, but yeah, I fall into this trap too. It's easy to adopt this narrative that it's a war of two sides because the media pushes this narrative, and so sometimes I fall into this trap, and you'll be up late at night being like, oh my God, I support Palestine, but the other side has the entire backing of the West and the whole military-industrial complex and the biggest bombs being signed in Sharpies by douchebag politicians who are getting paid off by creepy lobbyists who are working alongside of bots online spreading misinformation. They're in my DMs every day. I'm like, who the f*** am I talking to? Real people or bots? I don't f***ing know. Are they getting paid $7,000 a post? I'm doing this shit pro bono. What the f*** is going on? I'm going so f***ing crazy. I love Tucker Carlson. What's going on? What's going on? I draw the line at Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's going on? You gotta snap out of it and be like, fine, if this is sides, which it's not, if it is sides, then sure, they have all that, but we have Macklemore. Yeah. We got Macklemore, baby! The #1 white rapper of all time. Don't look it up. He is the GOAT, okay? He's the white goat. His name is Ben, okay? He's a great guy. And then we got Ben from Ben and Jerry's, dude. We got Ben from Ben and Jerry's. That's good ice cream, man. And then we got Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel. She's a sweetheart. She does content for kids. She works directly for Hamas. So I read in the Washington Post. All I'm saying is, there are no sides to history, okay? This is all an illusion that we see. There are no sides to history. But if there were, you're on the right side. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Boston. I'll see you next time. Take good care. I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Thank you so much.
Ooh, look at this package. First of all, man,
he was a human being. That's the best way I could describe him.
He's a human being.
I'm very close with God.
I pray that God saves you.
Just finished watching the Diddy documentary and realized I'm not that bad of a person. Man, woo, you want to feel good about yourself? Watch that Diddy documentary. You'll be like, I'm actually really good in relationships. I think my exes owe me an apology, to be honest. I'm a great guy. I don't want to spoil it for you, but basically Diddy killed Tupac. And you learn, literally in the second episode, you learn that he basically killed Tupac and Biggie. Like within a few months, yeah, imagine a child from the 90s learning that this guy killed your two childhood idols in 1 hour. And it's a guy who you never really liked their music of. Like, it's really bad. You know what I mean? Like, if I heard it was like 50 Cent, I'd be conflicted, you know? But I'm hearing it from 50 Cent, so you never know. He hired a guy to kill Tupac. And a couple months later, this was after, you know, Tupac is killed, Biggie did not want to go to LA because he knew it was dangerous. This was considered enemy territory. This East Coast, West Coast war was already happening. And so he's like, I don't want to go to LA. And, you know, Diddy's like, come on, you're coming with me. And Biggie was like, can you imagine the Notorious B.I.G. being like, I'm not comfortable with this. And so he did not want to go. He did not want to go to LA, but Diddy dragged him to LA. Biggie was supposed to leave early. He was supposed to do press in the UK. It was like a big deal for him. And then Diddy was like, he's not going, cancel his flight. And he kept Biggie there against his will. He said, we're going to have a party tonight. Diddy wanted to throw a party in Los Angeles, and he made Biggie stay for it. And at the end of the party, he said, all right, Biggie, it's time to go. Get in this car at this exact time. Started to drive off, and that's when Biggie was gunned down. So I don't know. You connect the dots. Okay, because both of the shootings were done in the exact same manner. Like, somebody shot at them a bunch of times, which implies they wanted to make sure it happened to get their money. You then watch how Diddy acts after that, and it's just so sinister, because right after that, he launches his own album, and suddenly he's mega famous, and he's dancing at the MTV Awards. Like, you know, you've seen those videos, right? Can you even fathom, like, losing the person most important to you in your life, and then within weeks, you're already in the spotlight, launching your solo career, you're back in the studio, building off of the glamour that the person with you attracted this whole time, you're even meeting the president. Can you imagine anyone doing anything like that in September of 2025? Can you imagine? I'm just talking about P. Diddy. I'm not talking about E. Kirky. But it's just great. It's just crazy. I mean, and this is all allegedly. You're supposed to say. I was saying allegedly until I found out he's a Scorpio, and now I'm just like, okay, you know, like, you're innocent until proven Scorpio. That's just kind of how I roll. Okay, yeah. Sorry, Scorpios. F***ing deal with it. 1 out of 12 chance you don't like that joke. Okay, but. Or maybe even higher because you're married to one. But whatever, that's not my problem. Just stay safe. No, there's a plenty of good Scorpios out there, like Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and I don't know. Name a good one and we'll talk. But no, I have Scorpio friends, guys. I'm just trying to get myself shot. Anyways, the Diddy documentary. The crazy thing about the Diddy documentary is it opens with footage of Diddy in his hotel room a few weeks before he was arrested. And you're like, how is this being filmed? This is produced by 50 Cent. Did he let 50 into the hotel room? Like, why is the camera on, you know? And then it's revealed that Diddy hired the videographer to film his own documentary. He thought it was going to make him look good. It did not. And then a few weeks later, Diddy had to go to jail. So then the videographer just had the footage, and he's like, what am I going to do with it? I might as well just give it to his worst enemy, 50 Cent. That's what he did. He gave it to his worst enemy, 50 Cent. And my first thought was like, oh my God, like, Diddy got betrayed by his videographer. You know, like, mine would never do that. Sorry, where's the camera? Mine would never do this. But then I read this happened, that he gave the footage to 50 Cent because Diddy didn't pay him. Yeah, apparently Diddy has a history of not paying any of his contractors. Like, who does he think he is, the President of the United States? What is he doing, man? You're gonna hire somebody to get very vulnerable shots of you in your hotel room and then not pay them? Like, what the f are you doing, man? So let this be a lesson. If you do not pay your videographer, your private footage is getting released. And so say what you will about Epstein. He paid his. I'm kidding. It was all self-installed cameras. Sometimes you got to DIY, guys. Sometimes you got to DIY. But yeah, it's wild that, because I remember, growing up watching him as Puff Daddy. He seemed so innocent, when he was Puff Daddy. Then he changed to Diddy, and he just did not seem the same, And it was crazy because they said he didn't used to do drugs at all. They said he no drugs, no alcohol, nothing. And then he went straight to pills. They said like the first drug that he really liked to do was ecstasy. Isn't that great? Isn't that crazy? He became Diddy when he did. But of course, the strangest thing about the whole Diddy thing is they found 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil on Diddy's property. 1,000. That's like metric tons of baby oil. And it had to be Johnson & Johnson, like brand loyalty. Like Johnson & Johnson lost their main client out of all this. That's really what happened. Like Diddy was big for them. Like Diddy single-handedly funded the J&J vaccine. Which is ironic because it was only one shot, and that's not how he typically... R.I.P. Biggie and Pac. R.I.P. It had to be Johnson & Johnson, and so his lawyer decided to make a comment after Diddy was locked up and they found it. He's like, so what's the big deal? So what? Diddy just likes to buy in bulk like any American. Where are you getting 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson? Not Costco, I looked it up. Costco doesn't sell Johnson & Johnson baby oil. Yeah, if it was from Costco, it would be Kirkland & Kirkland baby oil, but it's not. It's J&J, which you can't get from Costco. You have to buy directly from the J&J warehouse. That's weird, dude. So Diddy had these freak-offs where they were just doing a lot of sexual things, and he insisted that everybody be fully lubricated with the baby oil, which is, first of all, creepy. He's like, why we gotta smell like babies, you f***ing weirdo? And it was said that, like, sometimes people would put it on and he'd be like, not enough. They said people had to be glistening. That's what he said. But it was kind of typical Diddy in the studio, like, I just want to see you shine, And just people just rubbing up against each other, all lubricated. And the lawyer was like, so what? Adults like to have consensual sex with baby oil. I'm not an expert, okay? But, like, consensual sex doesn't require that much lubrication, okay? Clearly you needed an extra lube for whatever reason. And it was a lot of things were going on. It was, men and women, men and men. I mean, respectfully, Johnson & Johnson's probably the gayest oil that you can use. It's made for two men. Just two fully naked men, Johnson & Johnson. You'll never look at Johnson & Johnson baby oil the same. Buy alternative, guys. Buy alternative. Use organic almond oil, okay? It's time to move away from J&J, okay? Did you know Diddy has to pay Sting $2,000 a day? Yeah, because he sampled Sting's song without his permission when he made his tribute for Biggie after killing him. It was very, it was like, could you be any, like, he kills Biggie, has Biggie pay for the funeral, and then makes a song for him stealing somebody else's beat. And now, so now, literally $2,000 a day. Sting confirmed this. $2,000, like, Sting could just quit everything he's doing and just get, like, a surgeon's salary off of Diddy every year. $2,000 a day. So Sting's liking seeing Diddy in prison. He just watches like, every breath you take. Every bond you break, every move you make, you'll be paying me. I always like to have a portion of my show where I ask the crowd, is there anything that I have not talked about tonight that you'd like for me to talk about? Thank you. You said, what's wrong with Scorpio? Oh, I totally waged a war. No, there's nothing wrong with Scorpios. It was lit. No shit. No shit, I fucking have a metaphorical gun to my head right now. And you're expecting me to be like, are you a Pisces? Because why would you be so angry? What's wrong with Scorpios? Did you know I'm one? Clearly not. Probably would have avoided that joke altogether if I knew you were that close. If I knew I was fucking surrounded. There's nothing wrong with Scorpios, okay? They're an easy target, okay? Because Scorpio, not everybody knows about Zodiac, but you know enough to know that the Scorpio is the scorpion, and we know the scorpion as being like a creature that can stab you, And so it's just very easy to say Scorpios be crazy, And then you look at the data points and you're like, well, yeah. What? You're not crazy. Of course. Of course. No, oh my God. Nobody's saying you are. She's like, the voices in my head say that I'm amazing. What's your birthday? November 6th. Oh, yeah. That's like Diddy's birthday, I think, actually. I could be wrong. Right? He's somewhere in there. November 6th. You're right in the middle. So you're like super Scorpio. Have you ever physically hurt anybody? Just once. Great. Like blood or like, was there blood? Are they alive?
They are. It's my ex-husband.
It's your ex-husband. Okay, great. Do you need any more? Erica Kirk? That's right. Okay. Jesus. We were about to solve a crime here and you guys... I'm curious what Erica Kirk's sign is, actually. No, you can look it up if you want. So, okay, Erica Kirk, anatomy, and then what was the third one? Anime. Fantastic. Let's just cap it at that. Make some noise if you like anime. Oh, yeah, awesome. Okay. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry, guys. So we looked up where Erica Kirk. Yeah, she's a Scorpio. So. And it's like a picture of a scorpion too. It's Erica Kirk is a straight up Scorpio. So how bad did you hurt your ex-husband? He's alive. That's good. Just like Charlie Kirk. Okay. He might be. We might learn more later. Okay, so yeah, Erica Kirk's a Scorpio. I mean, say less, There's a war going on in this world. It's good Scorpios versus bad Scorpios. Okay, and you guys are obviously the good ones. Okay, but we have to stop the bad ones. That's actually awesome, because now I can add that to my bit. You know what I mean? Like, that should have been the first thing I did. I should have just been like, that's how you end the joke. With your E. Kirky. And guess what? She's also a Scorpio! I'm not huge into astrology. I just know a few things. In the astrology world, every sign is related to a body part. You can tell me if this rings true to you, but it's like if you are that sign, either that body part is like very important to you, or you maybe have a fetish for that body part. It could be one of those two things, okay? So I'll go through them, and if you feel that this relates to you, please be like, oh my God, or like something, just so I verbally know. So for Aries, it's the head. Okay, there you go. We got 2 so far. Aries is the head. So could be maybe you like heads or something. I mean, call me partial. I'm not Aries, but I have Aries tendencies. I really like a person to have a head. But it could be, like you're very precious about your head or something. I don't know what it is, okay? Taurus is the neck. Okay? Yeah, okay. All right. So a Taurus likes a good neck. And also, and I'm sure you have a great neck. A lot of my Taurus friends, thick ass necks, dude. Thick ass necks. I swear to God. Yeah. And then after that, Gemini is the arms. If you're into arms, if you like cut triceps or biceps and you're a Gemini, or you're just very particular about your arms. Cancer is the chest. Okay, yeah. So if you like a good chest, or if you have a good chest, you might be a Cancer, okay? A Leo is the back, right? So if you're into a nice back and you're a Leo, that's why. Virgo is the stomach. So if you like abs, or if you got a nice tight core and you're a Virgo, that explains it. Libra is the hips. Okay. Got a lot of Libras in the building, right? I'm gonna skip Scorpio for 1 second. Sagittarius is the upper thighs, the legs, okay? Capricorn is the knees. I don't know who's into that, but y'all got some strong knees. You like that little knee area. Aquarius, calves, okay? I'm an Aquarius. I love me some calves. My calves are the best part of my body, really. Like, you can see, look at those, look at that, dude. Look at that. Like, that's I usually don't show that to people, okay? Pisces is the feet. So those are, I swear to God, when you meet a person with a foot fetish, 9 out of 10 times they're a Pisces. I swear to God. Yeah, they're out there because of the fish. Yeah, exactly. Fish don't have feet, so they want feet. Exactly. Did you know that? But that's genius. I'm taking that. And Scorpio is just straight up the genitals. That's what it is. That's weird that everybody gets like a regular old body part. Like, you get the head, you get the arms, I get the knees, right? Scorpio's like, I want the junk. Like, just straight for the Jennies, dude. And that's why Scorpios love them a good baby oil. That's fine. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Philly, take care until then.